Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shweta and today we have a very exciting review. If you saw my best of PAC cosmetics, the one thing that I did not use is the PAC concealer. The one that I spoke about, the concealer in a bottle, I still don't know the bloody name, alright? I lost that when I was moving houses, and at that time PAC did tell me that they were launching their own concealers, a new launch, and I was pretty late in getting that because when my mum arrived, she got the rest of the things but she could not get the concealer. But on seeing Jovita George and seeing Shreya Jain, talk about these concealers, I was super excited to try it only because I think this is the first time in India a brand has brought out maybe 14 shades overall, which is still less. I have to say, I was expecting PAC to come out with a lot more, especially for deeper skin tone. But it's a start for an Indian brand in a country that actually ignores the medium skin tones and the deeper skin tones, okay? Usually the shade chart is quite embarrassing. Even Nykaa doesn't have it. Lakme, let's not even go there. Lakme needs to be put in a test tube and studied for how brainless they can be at times. But I love the fact that PAC is always innovating, and in my best of PAC, best and worst of PAC, you would have understood why I love this brand a lot. Yes, they are expensive, but you're getting quality for the price that you're paying. PAC does not ship internationally, so I had to rely on someone bringing it for me, and I was really surprised when I met Shreya, the other day. She was so sweet enough to carry 2 or 3 concealers closer to my skin shade, and she gifted that to me, so that is why I'm able to do this video. So thank you so much, Shreya, for this. I truly appreciate it. I'm really excited. So you're close to NC 40, 42. I think I will be able to tell you which shade would suit you better. So let's get started, guys. Alright, let's start off with the makeup application. My skin is feeling a little crusty and dry. I am taking Flower Beauty. This is the Supernova Celestial Facial Oil. This is a beautiful, beautiful oil, okay? So I'm just going to apply a tiny bit on my face because it's like a primer and it will give me that necessary hydration and glow. Okay, now, so I've got 07, 08, 09, 3 shades that Shreya was kind enough to give me. 07 is Nutcracker, 08 is Barely Nude, and 09 is Melon, okay? And I can see, don't go by the outer boxes, because if you see the outer box and the inner box, they're 2 very different colors. It retails for about 765 rupees. Slightly steep, let's be honest. PAC is not in the affordable range right now. This is what Nutcracker looks like. What you get outside, the coloring outside the box, is not what the coloring in the tube is. Now this is the inside packaging. Very basic, nice chubby little bottle, little bit of a frosted look, but something about this concealer reminds me so much of the ELF one. Can you see the bottle? It's so similar. It's just that this is like a clear glass, the ELF, and this has that little frosted look, and obviously the PAC one, you're getting a little more. In size wise, it's a little more, okay? The ELF cosmetic is designed in the USA and made in China, and PAC is designed in India and made in Korea. You're getting about 5.5 grams, that is 0.19 ounce of fluid in the PAC cosmetics, whereas for ELF you're getting around 6 ml of it, okay? So there is a slight difference for sure. Manufacturing date of the PAC is 31/12/2018 and goes all the way to 2021. On the bottom there is no numbers written on that, strangely enough, because the number is only given on the outside packaging. So if you lose that, then you wouldn't know what the shade number is or the shade name is. So if you are NC 40 to 42, the 3 shades, probably you can work around it. Alright, so NC 40, this is 07 Nutcracker. So this is a great concealer to brighten and to conceal at the same time. More of a brightening concealer because it's got a yellow tone clearly. 1 shade below 07 Nutcracker is Barely Nude 08, which can you see how bright that one is? So I would say that if you are a shade below NC 40, this can also work for you. I can't spot conceal with this one, and if you are a shade below NC 40, I think you can make Barely Nude also work for you. So this is 07, this is 08, and this is 09 Melon, which is so strange, guys. I expected this to get deeper and deeper, but I have to say this should have been 07 and this should have been 08 and this should have been 09. Okay, out of all three, I think NUTCRACKER seems to have a little more yellowy tone. This is also, I think, 09. Even if you are an NC40, you can work with 09. Maybe NC42, if you're looking out for a brightening concealer, you can definitely try 09 as well. But please, if you are a 42, stay away from Barely Nude. This is it, and all three I can see has got yellow tones. This has got a bit of a neutral tone. I'm talking about Barely Nude. So I'm starting off with 07 NUTCRACKER to conceal, spot conceal, and as you can see, it has a nice chubby doe foot applicator that takes just the right amount of fluid out. And this one is a thick concealer. I can just make out, okay, with the consistency that this will be a full coverage concealer for sure. So I'm just going to apply that under my eye, and I'm taking the PAC 272 brush, which you guys know is my favorite, and I can see it drying immediately, so I should have just gone with one application, like one side of the face at a time, because so quickly this is drying. And can you see how full coverage that is? Jesus Christ! I'm taking the damp YBP. This is the Makeup Perfector in Lust, my favorite sponge, and it's damp, so this will make it easier for me to blend. And oh yeah, with the damp sponge, it blends even better than a brush. Brush just doesn't work with it. Look at that, melted away. I'm going to do that at the same time in this side. Very nice. It feels nice and light. There's no cakiness or heaviness. They've got the undertone right. It has that right amount of yellowness that actually it's not too yellow at the same time. That gives you that whole Lisa Simpson jaundice kind of a look. But it just conceals, and it melted away better with a sponge. Please use a sponge, don't use a brush. And look at that, guys. I just have to put a compact powder and I'm good. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to apply a little bit of my foundation. For brightening, I think I'll go for Barely Nude. This probably will be too bright for me. A shade below NC40, up till 40 can use this. Very, very creamy, thick concealer. You can just make out by the consistency. Oh my god, this is like a bit too bright for my liking. It'll be fantastic if you are a bride-to-be and you're looking out for a good concealer that will brighten it. I think this will be excellent. And it's got like a neutral tone, so there's a little hint of pink and yellow from what I can sense. And it's not looking like a Sahara desert, it's not caking up. It's just melted really well into the skin. But I am sensing a little bit of creasing right here. But that goes with every full coverage concealer of mine, sits right here on my under eye area, on the crease line. So I'm taking the PAC HD powder and I'm just going to not bake, I'm just going to set with the loose powder. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do the rest of the makeup and I shall be right back. I should have just stuck with 07 instead of going with 07 at first and then applying 08 to brighten a lot more. Because the 07 actually did brighten. It just concealed and brightened. And if you're looking out for a full coverage concealer, this is it. This is it. You've got one in India, okay? And this, a little goes a long way. So don't be worried about the price because the quality of it is phenomenal. You've got 14 different shades. They have got more warmer undertones, I have to say, than cooler undertones. I think they would have a mix of neutral and warm undertones. There are not too many pinks is what I heard. So I do like the packaging of it. I do like the wand applicator because it just takes out the right amount of liquid. All you need to do is point out the correct shade, and once you get your correct match, then I think it is great. Okay, so that is the problem that I see, the difficulty of just getting your shade right. So if I were you, I think I would speak to the PAC Cosmetic team online on Instagram because they are extremely helpful. Sometimes when you take a picture of yourself or you give them a foundation shade, especially with PAC, they'll be able to tell you which kind of a concealer you require. The only two things I don't like about this concealer is the drying time with this concealer. The moment you apply it, you have to work really quickly and you cannot work with a brush. Even my favorite PAC brush was just not working. So I think a sponge a damp sponge will do the trick beautifully. So no brushes out here. I don't think it works really well with the brush, and just apply it like one side at a time. Work on this, and then once you have set it properly, go with the other one. And the second thing what I don't like about this concealer is that you can't layer it. So like I said, when I applied 07, it was perfect. It hasn't creased. I think what made it a little bit grayish, gave it a gray tinge, and that little crease line that I had, it's because I layered it. So it's not a concealer meant for layering. But the jump of this concealer is crazy, you guys. I expected 07, 08, 09 to keep getting deeper and deeper, but 07 was deep and 08 was like light. It's crazy. So there's no in between colors. A little goes a long way. So even if you're paying around $700 for this concealer, the quality of it is phenomenal. All right, sometimes you really need to pay for that quality product. This is quality. Another thing which I liked about PAC Cosmetics, which I'm not like super excited about, I'm not like stoked about it, is the shade range. I believe they're around 14 or 15 if I'm not wrong. I expected a lot more from PAC because PAC no longer is an upcoming brand. It's an established brand. So and I know that they're working on it. That's the best thing about this brand. They're always innovating. Like I told you in the best of PAC, they're always doing their research, innovating. They, you know, cater to the customers even more. If you are thinking of doing a cut crease with this concealer, you need a lot of powder to set with it, because as you can see, there's a lot of creasing that is happening right here. I will do a check-in because with concealers, within 2 or 3 hours, you will be able to tell whether the concealer is good or not. It's not like a foundation, okay? So far, it has not oxidized. It stayed really true to its color, and I am going to do my check-ins. I will tell you exactly how I feel. On usage of it, on application and what I'm seeing right now, I would definitely give this a 9 out of 10. It's not getting that full 10 on 10 marks because I do see a tinge out here, and that is because it's my mistake. I layered it. Like usually with a waterproof concealer, one layer is more than enough, and when you layer it, most waterproof concealer gives you that gray off tone. Okay guys, so it is around 5 o'clock at the moment. The concealer, let's look at it closely in the mirror. Still looking good, still looking good, but like I said, there is that creasing that has happened right here, and I can guarantee you it's because of the layering. Okay, so there is that gray offset that has happened right out here. Other than that, I really like the way the concealer is looking right now. I don't know if you can make out the difference. Look at that. All of my marks have been covered really well. I just like that it is giving me that brightening effect. Hey guys, so it's around 9:45 and I'm very tired and I want to take this face off, but I have to tell you, sorry if I'm sounding like my speech is a little bit slow. I'm very tired, but I have to tell you that this concealer has impressed me so much, okay? Because as you can see, there's no lights. I have to put on my studio lights, and it has just concealed what needed to be concealed. It has brightened, it has not moved. There is that gray tinge, and it is only because I layered it, so that's a negative out there. The only thing why I'm giving it again a 9 out of 10 and not 10 on 10, I'm still sticking on to that rating, is because there's a huge jump in shade range, okay? Even the in-between colors, you need to get the tone right and you need to get the concealer right. So it can be a little tricky. Another one, which exactly is not a negative thing, but it's drying time. So you have to work on one side of the face and then jump to the other side. And the third one is that you can't layer. That's it. Other than that, this is such a beautiful concealer. Very happy, very thankful again for getting it in hand. And you guys are very lucky that you have an Indian brand that's doing some incredible quality stuff. So I have nothing more to say, and I shall see you when I see you.